This week, it's all about UI and checkpoints. Like every game developer, you make the game and then the user interface is something you do later because it's only the first thing that people interact with. But jokes aside, it's easy to not worry about doing your UI when you're making a game. It's kind of one of those boring tasks. We are trying to polish the game now and get it to a really runnable demo stage so we can get some more feedback about the game. So I think it's important at this stage that we get our UI working closer to how we want at the end. Our UI is a little bit different to most games. Most games have a menu screen and you select play and you play the game. I didn't like this. I kind of wanted to dump the player straight into the game and then you start playing. So we've got kind of two UIs going on. We've got one in-game UI and then a UI to kind of help navigate back to that scene. What I did here, this is a little bit of a loading scene and it goes straight to the game. And you've got two options. While the character's sleeping down there, you've got two options. You can either play a new game or use the settings if you want to adjust your volume or whatever. After you click on play a new game, the player springs to life and you start playing. It's that simple. And I really like that simplicity. And then adding the checkpoint system in now, as the player goes through thinner parts of the map that I can place a big checkpoint in, they automatically save their progress. If you come all the way around here and you die, and we restart the game, now you get three options. You're going to get the continue game, new game, or settings again. If you hit the continue game, it will take you to the loading screen and back to the checkpoint that I've made here. So that was part one of our UI, just having this really ultra simple UI thing, basically kind of draws you straight to the game and you can start playing straight away. Because I just love that for a way for the player to interact with the game. The next part though is when you pause or if you die, then you need a bit to navigate back to that part. I made this screen here and I wanted to have it like a handwritten type thing, kind of to get the vibe of it more personal. In the game, there's these questions that are around the place that tell the story of the game. That's same font that I used to do this UI as well. I was thinking about having the UI as the same font that's on the front of the mall entrance with Lighthaze World, but I think kind of makes it a bit more sci-fi. And I mean, that's the vibe I want for the mall, but not so much for the UI. Am I overthinking this whole UI font? Is it just too much? Comment what you think. Like, I'm not sure now if I want to put like a notepad type thing behind this UI that still have that hand feel, or if I'm just going to leave it at black. But I feel like now we've got a usable UI plus on track and gives me somewhere to think about taking the UI to a new experience. With checkpoints, I recommend making a prefab like I have. And basically I just drag and drop these checkpoints in. They have a collider on them that senses when the player enters it, and then it saves the world and which location in that world they should respawn if they die. Checkpoints are similar to UI because you kind of make the game and then you're like, oh, how are we going to save this? And then then it's actually like this whole process of trying to work out where this code fits into the death of the player, plus just a little bit of mucking around to get the player on track for these checkpoints. Also, when you move between worlds, that becomes an instant checkpoint also. If you want to come on this journey and find out how Lighthaze World is developed, please subscribe. Otherwise, I'm going to get back to making some more of this game. Talk to you guys soon.